So I already recorded the class, and I want to show you the lab report template. So lab report template, you guys boleh dapat, I dah upload dekat materials dekat Discord. You guys dah dapat. A few things I want to point out that I see quite a few people are still doing the same mistake lah. First and foremost, lab report is like a formal report. So you are basically a scientist, you dah buat you punya experiment, and you are reporting your findings. Okay, maksudnya you dah report selepas you dah buat eksperimen. Okay, that one thing. So for your result to be accepted, you have to present it in a clear and formal way lah. So doesn't matter kalau you tak buat kotak pun tak apa. Tak buat kotak pun tak apa. Just make sure that you use the normal font and jangan macam letak highlight ke apa semua kata. Itu kalau boleh jangan letak lah. And then macam biasa the title experiment you, I dah ulang banyak kali. Objektif ni I still ramai I tengok yang orang salah buat. You dapatkan form lab manual, and benda yang you kena tambah tu is very easy. You cuma kena tambahkan to dekat depan tu. So let's see mana lab manual. Sekejap, I tengah buka lab manual ni. Sekejap ya. So eksperimen 3 kita buat. Mana satu eksperimen 3 ni? Eksperimen 2. Okay, so korang tengok untuk objektif is very easy. So korang tengok dari ni. Okay, korang tengok learning outcome. Okay, by the end of this lesson, students should be able to, okay, you punya objektif is very easy, is to standardize the hydrochloric acid solution and to determine the molar mass of alkaline metal by back titration method. Itu je. The important thing now is untuk objektif you tulis to dekat depan, to standardize, to determine. That is you punya eksperimen punya objektif. Okay, for introduction, okay, you nampak kat sini you tak payah nak cari Google pun tak apa, you dah ambil sini pun tak apa. Untuk introduction, make it short. It's easy untuk copy paste, of course. Tapi apa gunanya copy paste? So you baca, you make it short, okay? Pendekkan semua benda ni and write it in bullet point. You tulis dalam bullet point, and kalau ada relevant chemical equation, includekan dalam you punya introduction. And make sure any chemical equation tu is balanced. Okay. Untuk apparatus and chemical reagent, this is not necessary langsung. Sebab lab report, you are reporting your result. You are not telling anyone apa yang you guna, apa yang diorang perlu untuk eksperimen tu. Okay, so I'll go back to the lab report. Window. Okay, so I dah terangkan to and then introduction, which is saying bullet point. Untuk method, there's a reason why they say it is passive sentence. You are not just copy and paste. You ambil, you tukar in passive sentence and also in past tense. Sebab kenapa you need to write passive sentence and past tense? Because you dah buat eksperimen tu. Now you are reporting on the experiment. You are reporting on what has happened, not what are going to happen. You are not instructing people. The method is just you are telling what you did, apa yang you dah buat. Okay. And also another thing, okay, untuk this you boleh nanti I akan give the data lah. Another thing, like don't plagiarize, don't copy and paste from your friend. I can detect it right away. Tambah-tambah yang guna data ikut suka hati diorang. Okay, data, kalau saya cakap saya bagi in the class, use the data yang I give in the class. Okay, kalaulah saya cakap dari video, use from the video. Jangan macam you suka hatilah nak letak sini 2, sini kosong, sini 2. Yang tu ke apa ke. Don't. Okay, use the data provided lah. Another thing, okay, another crucial thing is here. Okay, untuk titration we have 4. So kita ada gross, first reading, second reading and third reading. The function of gross reading, okay, gross, the only reason why we have gross, sebab kita nak tahu the general amount of for example NaOH use. Okay, kita nak tahu dalam ballpark of how many that we need to use untuk neutralize the HCl lah. Okay, so we are just, kalau dalam titration, okay, contoh this is the burette, kita akan terus buka terus je, buka and then as soon as dia turn pink, tutup. Different from the first, second and third, where kita akan buka slow, drop sikit, slow, kita swirl, slow, because we want to have the exact volume. So, in the calculation of average, apa-apa average yang kita titrate, gross kita tak include. Gross kita cuma nak tengok, contohnya kita guna 28. Maksudnya, the other is should be around 28. Kalau you dapat yang ketiga, you dapat 32, maksudnya, this dah invalid and you should do it again. So macam tu lah. So gross just for you to have in mind berapa banyak yang you guna. So in calculation only calculate on 1 plus 2 and plus 3 and you average lah. Okay. So and then this is the mass nanti saya bagi. So untuk eksperimen today, ada quite a lot of calculation. So if you see, kita ada part A where kita nak cari the standard HCl solution. Kita nak cari dulu the moles of HCl. So and then we also akan ada buat titration of the unreacted HCl. Because kita today buat back titration, kita dapat the readings, and this experiment is very calculation heavy lah. So you gonna calculate. Yes, saya record kelas ni, don't worry, nanti saya upload. And I already gave you the formula. Okay, this formula you boleh guna untuk titration. Untuk titration you boleh terus guna formula ni, where it is M is molarity, and V is volume. Okay, and it is equivalent to the stoichiometric coefficient. So this one ada, I think I did a video where this is the very last question yang I bincang. Okay, you can boleh buat cari satu-satu and then you buat yang contohnya 1 mole of A is equivalent to 1 mole of B. Boleh, tapi is panjang. Kita boleh guna macam ni terus sebab kita do titration, and titration we always do to the what we call a titration point lah, di mana dia tukar daripada nothing to pink ataupun dari pink to colourless. Okay, maksudnya at that point, okay, it is an ideal coefficient. Maksudnya dia tak ada excess, dia tak ada limiting reactant. Semua exactly the same. So that's why kita boleh assume the volume, the moles yang kita titrate ke bawah and also the moles yang dalam kita punya solution sama. That's why kita boleh guna MAVA over MBVV and equivalent to A per B. A tu is dia punya stoichiometric coefficient lah. Coefficient. So kalau you nak tahu mana satu coefficient is depan dia. So contohnya HCl dia ada 2, this is the stoichiometric coefficient. Okay. So and then cara nak cari mole daripada volume pada molarity darab volume, you bagi 1000 given that kita dia punya volume is in milliliter. Kalau kita punya volume is in liter, kita dah tak perlu bahagi kita tak perlu bahagi apa benda ni. Okay. Sorry my BM is not good. Salah lagi. Tak perlu bahagi 1000. The only reason we are bahagi 1000 if sebab milliliter kita akan tukar ke dalam liter sebab molarity is kita bahagi dengan volume in liter. Okay. Another thing yang I nampak korang do a mistake, a careless mistake lah. Here, kalau you guys tengok volume, okay, yes, molarity dia punya volume is in liter. But what if I say you boleh guna milliliter sini? Okay, kenapa boleh guna milliliter? Okay, you tengok milliliter over milliliter or liter per liter. Okay, kalau you tengok ni, milliliter ke bahagi milliliter ataupun liter ke liter, the unit does not matter. Sebab you boleh cancel out. Sebab dia bahagi kan. So kalau boleh tak tukar pun tak apalah. Sebab it avoids you from having a careless mistake. Okay. One thing to take note, just like kalau atas ni you guna milliliter, bawah pun kena guna milliliter lah. Tak boleh lah you cakap tak nak tukar, you guna milliliter, bawah liter. That one dah salah lah. As long as the unit are the same, you boleh guna. Sebab dia bahagi. So like 2 bahagi 2 still 1. 3 bahagi 3 still 1. So it doesn't make any difference. Alright. So do the calculation. Sekejap lagi kita bincang. There's a lot of calculation. This one I just bagi tahu you macam mana nak buat. Nanti you punya tu you boleh padam lah. Padam benda ni. And then conclusion. So macam mana nak tulis conclusion? This one is also saya nampak ada a few people yang I'll say is incorrect. Okay. How do you find the conclusion? Is from your punya objective. Okay. Objective tadi nak cari apa? Nak cari the molar mass of metal. Tulislah. Mana conclusion you? The molar mass of what metal is apa? And then since you dapat tahu based on the molar mass metal tu apa, bagi tahu lah sini. And also untuk conclusion, you also need to include, is a good practice untuk include any chemical equation yang you guna. So macam atas ni kita ada guna satu equation where the metal M is reacted with HCl untuk dapatkan MCl2 and H2 gas. So includekan dalam ni. And then we also have kita ada chemical reaction form to standardize the HCl dengan NaOH also include dalam sini. Okay. Untuk exercises, try your best to jawab. Okay. You salah ke you betul, the marks does not carry much lah. Tapi one thing I want you to make sure is untuk matriculation level, okay, contohnya macam hari tu pasal apa pasal burette sekejap saya pun tak ingat. Okay lah, contohlah kalau kenapa kita kena isi volumetric flask, kenapa kita kena isi volumetric flask tu carefully. Okay, at matriculation level you dah tak boleh nak jawab, so it not to prevent it from spilling over ataupun to prevent it from overfilling above the mark. that jawapan maybe you get 1 mark or 0 mark. On matriculation level, you have to elaborate. Kenapa dia tak boleh lebih daripada volumetric dia punya mark? Sebab bila dia dah lebih, you punya calculation of volume, and which you use the volume untuk calculate dia punya concentration, dah salah bila you lebih daripada mark. Sebab volumetric flux is very accurate flux. So at the mark, exactly at the mark, it is berapa banyak yang volumetric flux tu lah. Contohnya 250 mil. You lebih je, you tak boleh nak buang. You tak boleh nak sedut balik buang. You kena buat balik. You kena keluarkan, basuh and buat balik. So contohlah this question is why we must clean the metal until it is shiny. Contohlah jawapan you because it will react better. That jawapan will not be accepted. Kenapa it will react better? So give explanation. Okay, don't worry betul ke salah, asalkan you cuba. I want to see you cuba. Okay, so jap. Let's see the video sekali lagi. Nanti I akan cerita sekali lagi on back titration, and I'll give you the data. Okay, so kejap saya nak padam semua ni. Saya tak boleh nak padam. So don't save. Okay, tengok this video. Kita akan tengok this video together again, and we will discover that back titration is quite useful lah. I'll mute and I'll play. Let me know boleh dengar ke tak.
In this experiment, you want to standardize the hydrochloric acid solution, and number 2, you want to determine the molar mass of an alkaline earth metal. Now this titration method is known what we call as the back titration method. Now make sure that your metal is clean, there is no black residue on your metal. Please cut your metal in a beaker so that it does not fly away.
So okay, I'm gonna show you. Okay, dah nampak kan tadi the video, and this is what I want you guys. Mana ada? Itu muka Mr. Sir Farid lah. He is the head of unit Kimia. Okay, so here, one thing I want you guys to take note in this experiment, we do not use 0.1 molar of NaOH. Okay, so kita guna concentration of NaOH of 1.0 molar. Okay, so that is one thing I want you guys to ubah lah, that kita tak guna 0.1, kita guna 1.0. okay, so and then the volume of HCl you boleh dapat daripada lab manual. okay, you dapat, and then dah tahu. So the reading, okay, remember to only use the reading I give. Yes, ubah kat procedure, just tukar tu je. Kita use 1 molar. So the reading here, use the reading I give you. Okay, it is gross is 0.0. All of the initial reading is 0.00. Ayah, merah nak. Kenapa lah saya guna merah? Sikit mata pula nampak. Biru lah. Okay, so the gross reading we use, the final reading is 25.60. okay, and then for the first reading we got 25.45, and for the third we also get 25. Aduh, malam-malam ni saya pun dah pening. Okay, 25.45, and luckily on the third reading you also get 25.45. okay, only use the data I give. Saya nampak ada orang ni guna data yang salah. Kosong nanti saya bagi. okay, so the mass of the metal yang kita weigh, so we use the electronic weighing scale. Yes, 4 decimal point. So we get the first metal, we got 0.0950 grams, and the second is we got 0.0925 grams. okay, so kalau siapa yang terlepas atas, okay, dan volume of NaOH use, you guys kira lah. Kalau ini salah, saya pun tak tahu lah. Saya pergi rumah korang seorang-seorang. okay, and then the mass of the metal kita dapat, and then okay, untuk this standardization of HCl, the first thing that you do is you nak tengok the HCl yang you ada, yang you dapat, you nak tengok berapa moles dia. okay, you have HCl, okay, lab assistant bagi you HCl, you nak tengok berapa mole dia. okay, that's why we do the first titration. So you dapatkan the average volume of NaOH, dapat average volume, and then you boleh lah kira dia punya moles, dia punya molarity, dia punya molarity. Cara nak kira dia, you guys tengok dekat calculation. Mana satu calculation? This, guna calculation. okay, you nak cari HCl. okay, you tahu kita guna berapa tadi from lab manual. Saya nak beritahu 25 ml. Jangan salah lagi. And then molarity of NaOH. okay, NaOH saya dah bagi atas tu. And then volume is from titration, yang average volume yang kita dapat. A and B come from a balance equation of HCl tambah NaOH. So balancekan sendiri. okay, and then bila you dah dapat molarity, okay, you dah dapat molarity and you ada volume dia, boleh tak cari dia punya moles? Saya dah bagi dah formula. So you wish, supposedly you boleh cari moles of HCl yang kita ada. So initial HCl yang kita ada. Okay, that's good. Kita dah tahu HCl yang kita ada tu berapa dia punya moles. And then, so what we did for the second titration, okay, so second titration, baca lab manual tu, dekat the flask yang bawah ni, okay, atas tu kita ada burette kan. Hilang pula burette saya ni. Okay, burette. So kita ada NaOH dah atas, NaOH, and kita titrate it against, kita letak the metal strip, the metal M, and kita also kita larutkan the metal M, kita dissolvekan the metal M dalam HCl, which kita dah tahu HCl tu berapa moles lah kan. So kita titrate, and then you guys akan dapat the volume of NaOH yang gunalah. So we do it twice. Okay, remember twice. So ini tak perlu kira average sebab kita buat this titration twice. Satu untuk sample 1 yang kita kira dia punya berat this, and the second time kita titrate lagi with the berat of this. Okay, so the reading for sample 1 and sample 2. Okay, so the initial reading of sample 1 is 0.00 and the initial reading of sample 2 is 17.80, 17.80, and the final reading of sample 1 is 17.80, and for sample 2 is 36.20. So carilah volume NaOH. Okay, so that is so basically kita ada 3 titration lah. The very first kita nak cari moles of HCl, and then kita have 2 titration untuk sample 1 and sample 2. Okay, so let's go on to the calculation. So macam mana nak cari the molarity of unreacted HCl? Okay, molarity of unreacted HCl, okay, kita boleh dapat daripada MAVA, daripada the equation of metal chloride, and kita juga tambah dengan HCl untuk dapatkan metal chloride 2. Okay, kalau you guys tak tahu mana saya dapat this equation, daripada lab manual, and kita dapat H2 gas. Okay, macam mana kita nak dapat tahu the unreacted HCl? Is by kita know how much of yang kita perlukan NaOH dalam this, kita berapa banyak yang kita titrate untuk dia stabilize. So berapa banyak yang kita guna NaOH untuk stabilize the HCl, itulah berapa banyak moles yang HCl yang tak react dengan metals. Maksudnya dalam ni kita letak metal and hydrochloric acid react kan, obviously akan ada lebih hydrochloric acid lain kan yang tak react. Yang lebih-lebih itulah yang akan react dengan NaOH. So we know from that, kita dapat tahu the molarity of HCl solution. So macam mana nak cari? So use the same formula. You tak tahu the molarity of HCl, but you know kita guna HCl, kita guna 25 ml kan, 25 ml. Okay, and then the molarity of this, nak ambil molarity mana? Molarity of your NaOH. Kita titrate guna NaOH kan. NaOH molarity dia saya dah bagi awal-awal. And VB, volume dia. Volume dia is form yang you dapat lah. Untuk sampel 1 dapat berapa, untuk sampel 2 dapat berapa. So from that, you kira dapat molarity untuk sampel 1 punya HCl dengan sampel 2 punya HCl. So maksudnya you ada 2 lah, 2 molarity untuk 2 sampel. Okay, so you dah dapat kan. And then macam biasa dah tahu molarity, boleh cari moles. Formula saya dah terang tadi, same formula. Okay, and then the number of moles of reacted metals. So you nak tahu berapa banyak moles yang reacted metal. Okay, so cara yang moles dia, first obviously you boleh tahu moles of hydrochloric acid tu lah, which is moles of HCl standard tolak dengan yang unreacted yang tadi, yang from the back titration tu. So you dapat the amount of moles yang reacted. So bila you dah dapat, contohlah this is 0.03 contoh. Okay, macam mana nak dapat moles of metals? Use stoichiometric comparison. So this one, sorry can you guys betulkan this one? Salah actually, it is MCl2 aqueous. Okay, tolong betulkan MCl2 aqueous. Okay, balancekan the equation, and then use stoichiometric comparison untuk cari. So kalau HCl is 0.03, berapa moles of metal yang reacted? Okay, so you dapat the moles of metal yang reacted. Okay, so balancekan dulu, and then you tengok berapa banyak moles yang reacted. You dah dapat moles of metal, dapat dia punya moles. Okay, nak cari molar mass. You dah tahu moles, molar mass kita tak tahu, but mass kita tahu. Kita tahu kat mana tadi? Ingat tak awal kita guna the electronic balancer tu? Tada! So kita ada sini. Kita ada dia punya mass. So use the mass, cari the molar mass. So bila you dah dapat molar mass, you average kan. Lepas tu look at periodic table ataupun you punya tutorial books, ada the list of molar mass. So tengoklah mass mana yang paling dekat dengan elemen mana yang mass dia paling dekat dengan molar mass yang you dapat. And then conclusion saya dah cerita tadi macam biasa. So buatkan je. Okay, so this is the very basic back titration yang you guys buat lah. So you are titrating on leftover stuff. Tengok benda yang tak react, you nak tengok berapa banyak tak react. By berapa banyak yang tak react tu, you boleh tahu berapa banyak yang react. Okay, so that's it. And any questions so far? Soalan, datangkan soalan. Ataupun korang dah tidur ni? Okay, submit macam biasa seminggu from now. So hari ni hari Rabu kan? Rabu, Khamis, Jumaat, Sabtu. So basically pretty much hari Isnin you guys kena submit lah. Isnin kena submit macam biasa. So I give you again yang data. I don't want you guys to use the different data. Concentration of NaOH kita tukar ke 1. Kita guna 1 molar and tukar kat procedure sekali. Volume boleh cari dekat you punya lab manual. This is the data. Template I give you dekat Discord. Okay, cuma ada satu kesalahan je lah template tu, I tunjuk tadi tu. And then the mass of the metal like this, 0.095, 0 and 0.925. And then untuk titration kita guna 0, start dengan 0 sampai 17.80, and then starting from 17.80 kita got the final reading untuk sample 2 36.20. This I just cerita macam mana nak jawab. And then the only thing yang salah dalam template tu is this. Number 5 ni, it is not MCl aqueous. It is MCl2 aqueous. Okay, so tukarkan ke MCl2 aqueous. And that's it. So itu saja, and buat and submit next Monday. Okay, I'll stop recording.